I decided to improve my English seriously. I decided to improve my English seriously. Listening every day helps me understand better. Listening every day helps me understand better. I try to listen without translating in my mind. I try to listen without translating in my mind. Understanding the meaning feels natural now. Understanding the meaning feels natural now. I can follow simple conversations easily. I can follow simple conversations easily. My confidence increases with daily practice. My confidence increases with daily practice. I speak more clearly than before. I speak more clearly than before. People understand me better now. People understand me better now. I enjoy learning English at my own pace. I enjoy learning English at my own pace. Small progress makes me feel motivated. Small progress makes me feel motivated. I listen carefully to pronunciation. I listen carefully to pronunciation. Pronunciation improves with repetition. Pronunciation improves with repetition. I repeat sentences out loud. I repeat sentences out loud. Speaking aloud improves fluency. Speaking aloud improves fluency. I try to speak naturally and calmly. I try to speak naturally and calmly. Making mistakes helps me learn faster. Making mistakes helps me learn faster. I do not feel afraid of mistakes now. I do not feel afraid of mistakes now. Confidence comes from regular practice. Confidence comes from regular practice. I understand more words every day. I understand more words every day. New words become familiar quickly. New words become familiar quickly. I listen to English while relaxing. I listen to English while relaxing. Relaxed listening helps memory. Relaxed listening helps memory. I focus on meaning, not grammar rules. I focus on meaning, not grammar rules. Grammar becomes easier with listening. Grammar becomes easier with listening. I can guess meaning from context. I can guess meaning from context. Context helps me understand faster. Context helps me understand faster. I enjoy listening to clear English audio. I enjoy listening to clear English audio. Clear audio improves learning quality. Clear audio improves learning quality. I practice English at the same time daily. I practice English at the same time daily. A routine helps me stay consistent. A routine helps me stay consistent. I notice improvement in my listening skills. I notice improvement in my listening skills. Listening skills are very important. Listening skills are very important. I understand longer sentences now. I understand longer sentences now. Longer sentences feel easier today. Longer sentences feel easier today. I stay patient during learning. I stay patient during learning. Patience brings better results. Patience brings better results. I listen again if I miss something. I listen again if I miss something. Repeating audio improves clarity. Repeating audio improves clarity. I try to think in English. I try to think in English. Thinking in English saves time. Thinking in English saves time. I feel comfortable using simple English. I feel comfortable using simple English. Simple English is powerful. Simple English is powerful. I enjoy daily listening practice. I enjoy daily listening practice. Daily practice builds strong habits. Daily practice builds strong habits. I speak slowly and clearly. I speak slowly and clearly. Slow speech sounds confident. Slow speech sounds confident. I understand native speakers better now. I understand native speakers better now. Listening improves real communication. Listening improves real communication. I feel proud of my progress. I feel proud of my progress. Progress motivates me to continue. Progress motivates me to continue. I listen carefully without distraction. I listen carefully without distraction. Focus improves understanding. Focus improves understanding. I repeat sentences with emotion. I repeat sentences with emotion. Emotion makes speech natural. Emotion makes speech natural. I enjoy hearing my own voice. I enjoy hearing my own voice. My voice sounds clearer now. My voice sounds clearer now. I stay calm while speaking. I stay calm while speaking. Calm speaking sounds confident. Calm speaking sounds confident. I understand everyday English easily. I understand everyday English easily. Everyday English is useful. Everyday English is useful. I listen again to strengthen memory. I listen again to strengthen memory. Memory improves with repetition. Memory improves with repetition. I feel motivated to continue learning. I feel motivated to continue learning. Motivation keeps me moving forward. Motivation keeps me moving forward. I enjoy the learning journey. I enjoy the learning journey. Learning is a long process. Learning is a long process. I stay consistent every day. I stay consistent every day. Consistency brings success. Consistency brings success. I practice even when I feel tired. I practice even when I feel tired. Small effort still matters. Small effort still matters. I listen carefully to sentence flow. I listen carefully to sentence flow. Flow makes English sound natural. Flow makes English sound natural. I feel more confident speaking now. I feel more confident speaking now. Confidence changes everything. Confidence changes everything. I understand English without stress. I understand English without stress. Stress-free learning works best. Stress-free learning works best. I keep learning step by step. I keep learning step by step. Step-by-step learning feels easy. Step-by-step learning feels easy. I enjoy improving my English daily. I enjoy improving my English daily. Daily improvement feels great. Daily improvement feels great. I listen actively, not passively. I listen actively, not passively. Active listening improves results. Active listening improves results. I repeat sentences confidently. I repeat sentences confidently. Confidence improves pronunciation. Confidence improves pronunciation. I believe in my learning ability. I believe in my learning ability. Belief creates progress. Belief creates progress. I feel ready for real conversations. I feel ready for real conversations. Real conversations feel easier now. Real conversations feel easier now. I continue listening with focus. I continue listening with focus. Focus brings clarity. Focus brings clarity. I enjoy understanding spoken English. I enjoy understanding spoken English. Understanding feels rewarding. Understanding feels rewarding. I stay positive while learning. I stay positive while learning. Positive thinking helps success. Positive thinking helps success. I finish this part confidently. I finish this part confidently. Confidence grows every day. Confidence grows every day. I am improving faster now. I am improving faster now. Faster improvement feels exciting. Faster improvement feels exciting. I am ready to continue learning. I am ready to continue learning. I look forward to the next part. I look forward to the next part. I try to understand ideas, not single words. I try to understand ideas, not single words. Understanding ideas makes listening easier. Understanding ideas makes listening easier. I can follow short stories in English. I can follow short stories in English. Stories help me remember language. Stories help me remember language. I listen to English while doing simple tasks. I listen to English while doing simple tasks. Multitasking helps me stay consistent. Multitasking helps me stay consistent. I recognize common phrases quickly now. I recognize common phrases quickly now. Familiar phrases build confidence. Familiar phrases build confidence. I focus on sentence rhythm and stress. I focus on sentence rhythm and stress. Rhythm makes English sound natural. Rhythm makes English sound natural. I pause and repeat difficult sentences. I pause and repeat difficult sentences. Difficult parts become easier with time. Difficult parts become easier with time. I understand spoken English more clearly. I understand spoken English more clearly. Clear understanding reduces confusion. Clear understanding reduces confusion. I notice how sentences are connected. I notice how sentences are connected. Connected speech sounds smooth. Connected speech sounds smooth. I listen without getting tired quickly. I listen without getting tired quickly. Regular practice builds listening stamina. Regular practice builds listening stamina. I feel relaxed while listening to English. I feel relaxed while listening to English. Relaxation improves concentration. Relaxation improves concentration. I can understand opinions and reasons. I can understand opinions and reasons. Opinions add meaning to conversations. Opinions add meaning to conversations. I pay attention to tone and feeling. I pay attention to tone and feeling. Tone helps express meaning clearly. Tone helps express meaning clearly. I understand common expressions easily. I understand common expressions easily. Expressions make language lively. Expressions make language lively. I enjoy listening without pressure. I enjoy listening without pressure. Pressure-free learning works better. Pressure-free learning works better. I repeat sentences at my own speed. I repeat sentences at my own speed. Personal speed improves comfort. Personal speed improves comfort. I listen again when something feels unclear. I listen again when something feels unclear. Re-listening improves accuracy. Re-listening improves accuracy. I understand cause and effect sentences. I understand cause and effect sentences. Cause and effect explain ideas clearly. Cause and effect explain ideas clearly. I can follow simple explanations now. I can follow simple explanations now. Explanations improve understanding. Explanations improve understanding. I feel comfortable with longer listening sessions. I feel comfortable with longer listening sessions. Longer sessions build endurance. Longer sessions build endurance. I listen actively and stay focused. I listen actively and stay focused. Active focus improves results. Active focus improves results. I understand everyday topics clearly. I understand everyday topics clearly. Everyday topics are practical. Everyday topics are practical. I hear linking sounds between words. I hear linking sounds between words. Linking sounds improve fluency. Linking sounds improve fluency. I notice how speakers emphasize words. I notice how speakers emphasize words. Emphasis changes meaning. Emphasis changes meaning. I can follow instructions in English. I can follow instructions in English. Instructions improve real-life skills. Instructions improve real-life skills. I listen with curiosity and interest. I listen with curiosity and interest. Curiosity makes learning enjoyable. Curiosity makes learning enjoyable. I feel more confident understanding speech. I feel more confident understanding speech. Confidence grows with experience. Confidence grows with experience. I understand short discussions now. I understand short discussions now. Discussions help thinking skills. Discussions help thinking skills. I focus on the main message. I focus on the main message. The main message matters most. The main message matters most. I understand examples given by speakers. I understand examples given by speakers. Examples clarify meaning. Examples clarify meaning. I stay calm if I miss a word. I stay calm if I miss a word. Missing words is normal. Missing words is normal. I understand more when I relax. I understand more when I relax. Relaxation supports learning. Relaxation supports learning. I listen with confidence and patience. I listen with confidence and patience. Patience improves results. Patience improves results. I understand short explanations easily. I understand short explanations easily. Clear explanations save time. Clear explanations save time. I enjoy hearing natural English speech. I enjoy hearing natural English speech. Natural speech feels real. Natural speech feels real. I stay motivated to continue learning. I stay motivated to continue learning. Motivation keeps habits strong. Motivation keeps habits strong. I notice improvement week by week. I notice improvement week by week. Weekly progress feels rewarding. Weekly progress feels rewarding. I understand common spoken patterns. I understand common spoken patterns. Patterns make listening easier. Patterns make listening easier. I listen without rushing myself. I listen without rushing myself. Slow learning is effective. Slow learning is effective. I feel more independent while listening. I feel more independent while listening. Independence builds confidence. Independence builds confidence. I understand English without subtitles sometimes. I understand English without subtitles sometimes. Subtitles become less necessary. Subtitles become less necessary. I focus on clarity, not perfection. I focus on clarity, not perfection. Clarity matters more than perfection. Clarity matters more than perfection. I enjoy understanding spoken English clearly. I enjoy understanding spoken English clearly. Clear understanding feels satisfying. Clear understanding feels satisfying. I listen carefully until the end. I listen carefully until the end. Listening fully improves comprehension. Listening fully improves comprehension. I stay confident during long listening tasks. I stay confident during long listening tasks. Confidence improves performance. Confidence improves performance. I understand English conversations better now. I understand English conversations better now. Conversations feel more natural. Conversations feel more natural. I am comfortable with B1 level English. I am comfortable with B1 level English. Comfort shows progress. Comfort shows progress. I feel ready to continue learning more. I feel ready to continue learning more. Readiness comes from practice. Readiness comes from practice. I finish this section with confidence. I finish this section with confidence. Confidence grows steadily. Confidence grows steadily. I am improving my listening every day. I am improving my listening every day. Daily improvement matters. Daily improvement matters. I look forward to the next section. I look forward to the next section. I am ready to continue. I am ready to continue. I understand spoken English in daily situations. I understand spoken English in daily situations. Daily situations make learning practical. Daily situations make learning practical. I can follow conversations at a normal speed. I can follow conversations at a normal speed. Normal speed feels comfortable now. Normal speed feels comfortable now. I notice how speakers change their tone. I notice how speakers change their tone. Tone adds meaning to speech. Tone adds meaning to speech. I understand explanations in meetings. I understand explanations in meetings. Meetings require careful listening. Meetings require careful listening. I listen actively during conversations. I listen actively during conversations. Active listening improves responses. Active listening improves responses. I understand different speaking styles. I understand different speaking styles. Different styles appear in real life. Different styles appear in real life. I can follow spoken instructions clearly. I can follow spoken instructions clearly. Clear instructions save time. Clear instructions save time. I notice when speakers agree or disagree. I notice when speakers agree or disagree. Agreement and disagreement shape discussion. Agreement and disagreement shape discussion. I understand reasons and examples better. I understand reasons and examples better. Reasons explain opinions clearly. Reasons explain opinions clearly. I follow short presentations in English. I follow short presentations in English. Presentations require focus. Presentations require focus. I understand familiar topics easily. I understand familiar topics easily. Familiar topics feel comfortable. Familiar topics feel comfortable. I can keep listening for longer periods. I can keep listening for longer periods. Longer listening builds confidence. Longer listening builds confidence. I understand the main point quickly. I understand the main point quickly. The main point guides understanding. The main point guides understanding. I listen without worrying about mistakes. I listen without worrying about mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. Mistakes are part of learning. I understand spoken English on common topics. I understand spoken English on common topics. Common topics appear often. Common topics appear often. I notice how ideas are organized. I notice how ideas are organized. Organization makes speech clear. Organization makes speech clear. I understand simple arguments in English. I understand simple arguments in English. Arguments explain opinions. Arguments explain opinions. I can follow conversations in public places. I can follow conversations in public places. Public conversations improve experience. Public conversations improve experience. I understand English while traveling. I understand English while traveling. Travel situations require listening skills. Travel situations require listening skills. I stay focused even with background noise. I stay focused even with background noise. Focus helps ignore distractions. Focus helps ignore distractions. I understand short news reports. I understand short news reports. News reports provide information. News reports provide information. I recognize key words in speech. I recognize key words in speech. Keywords guide meaning. Keywords guide meaning. I follow polite conversations easily. I follow polite conversations easily. Polite language is important. Polite language is important. I understand opinions in discussions. I understand opinions in discussions. Discussions share different views. Discussions share different views. I listen carefully before responding. I listen carefully before responding. Careful listening improves replies. Careful listening improves replies. I understand explanations about work tasks. I understand explanations about work tasks. Work tasks need clear listening. Work tasks need clear listening. I can follow English conversations confidently. I can follow English conversations confidently. Confidence improves communication. Confidence improves communication. I notice changes in speed and volume. I notice changes in speed and volume. Speed and volume affect meaning. Speed and volume affect meaning. I understand everyday spoken English better. I understand everyday spoken English better. Everyday English feels natural now. Everyday English feels natural now. I can listen without feeling stressed. I can listen without feeling stressed. Stress-free listening improves learning. Stress-free listening improves learning. I understand spoken English at work. I understand spoken English at work. Work conversations feel easier now. Work conversations feel easier now. I follow conversations about plans and goals. I follow conversations about plans and goals. Plans and goals are common topics. Plans and goals are common topics. I understand opinions about daily life. I understand opinions about daily life. Daily life topics are useful. Daily life topics are useful. I understand spoken English in group discussions. I understand spoken English in group discussions. Group discussions need attention. Group discussions need attention. I stay confident even when speech is fast. I stay confident even when speech is fast. Fast speech becomes easier with practice. Fast speech becomes easier with practice. I listen carefully to connect ideas. I listen carefully to connect ideas. Connected ideas form meaning. Connected ideas form meaning. I understand spoken English in social situations. I understand spoken English in social situations. Social situations require listening skills. Social situations require listening skills. I understand explanations about daily routines. I understand explanations about daily routines. Daily routines are easy topics. Daily routines are easy topics. I feel comfortable listening to English now. I feel comfortable listening to English now. Comfort shows improvement. Comfort shows improvement. I understand spoken English in shops and offices. I understand spoken English in shops and offices. Shops and offices use clear language. Shops and offices use clear language. I understand questions and answers clearly. I understand questions and answers clearly. Questions and answers guide conversation. Questions and answers guide conversation. I listen calmly during longer talks. I listen calmly during longer talks. Calm listening improves comprehension. Calm listening improves comprehension. I understand explanations about problems and solutions. I understand explanations about problems and solutions. Problems and solutions show reasoning. Problems and solutions show reasoning. I follow spoken English without constant repetition. I follow spoken English without constant repetition. Less repetition shows progress. Less repetition shows progress. I understand everyday English expressions. I understand everyday English expressions. Expressions make speech natural. Expressions make speech natural. I listen with confidence and clarity. I listen with confidence and clarity. Clarity improves understanding. Clarity improves understanding. I feel comfortable continuing long listening sessions. I feel comfortable continuing long listening sessions. Long sessions build skill. Long sessions build skill. I understand spoken English with less effort. I understand spoken English with less effort. Less effort means improvement. Less effort means improvement. I feel confident about my listening skills. I feel confident about my listening skills. Confidence shows real progress. Confidence shows real progress. I am ready to continue learning further. I am ready to continue learning further. I look forward to the next part. I look forward to the next part. I understand longer conversations more easily now. I understand longer conversations more easily now. Longer conversations require steady focus. Longer conversations require steady focus. I can follow speakers with different accents. I can follow speakers with different accents. Accents become easier with exposure. Accents become easier with exposure. I understand opinions expressed politely. I understand opinions expressed politely. Polite language softens communication. Polite language softens communication. I notice how speakers give examples. I notice how speakers give examples. Examples make ideas clearer. Examples make ideas clearer. I can follow explanations without stopping. I can follow explanations without stopping. Continuous listening builds confidence. Continuous listening builds confidence. I understand cause and effect relationships. I understand cause and effect relationships. Cause and effect explain reasons. Cause and effect explain reasons. I understand spoken English in everyday meetings. I understand spoken English in everyday meetings. Meetings require clear listening skills. Meetings require clear listening skills. I notice when speakers change topics. I notice when speakers change topics. Topic changes guide conversation flow. Topic changes guide conversation flow. I can follow conversations even when people interrupt. I can follow conversations even when people interrupt. Interruptions happen in real conversations. Interruptions happen in real conversations. I understand spoken English in public announcements. I understand spoken English in public announcements. Public announcements are often brief. Public announcements are often brief. I recognize important details in speech. I recognize important details in speech. Important details support understanding. Important details support understanding. I understand spoken instructions at work. I understand spoken instructions at work. Work instructions require accuracy. Work instructions require accuracy. I understand explanations about schedules. I understand explanations about schedules. Schedules involve time and planning. Schedules involve time and planning. I notice how speakers explain problems. I notice how speakers explain problems. Problems lead to solutions. Problems lead to solutions. I understand opinions about current events. I understand opinions about current events. Current events appear in discussions. Current events appear in discussion. I can follow group conversations more easily. I can follow group conversations more easily. Group conversations require attention. Group conversations require attention. I understand spoken English on the phone. I understand spoken English on the phone. Phone conversations need clear listening. Phone conversations need clear listening. I listen carefully to avoid misunderstandings. I listen carefully to avoid misunderstandings. Careful listening prevents mistakes. Careful listening prevents mistakes. I understand spoken English in customer service situations. I understand spoken English in customer service situations. Customer service language is polite. Customer service language is polite. I notice how speakers clarify their meaning. I notice how speakers clarify their meaning. Clarification improves understanding. Clarification improves understanding. I understand explanations about rules and procedures. I understand explanations about rules and procedures. Rules and procedures guide actions. Rules and procedures guide actions. I understand spoken English during presentations. I understand spoken English during presentations. Presentations combine ideas and examples. Presentations combine ideas and examples. I can follow English conversations in noisy places. I can follow English conversations in noisy places. Noisy places make listening harder. Noisy places make listening harder. I understand spoken English with different speeds. I understand spoken English with different speeds. Speed variation is normal. Speed variation is normal. I notice how speakers repeat key points. I notice how speakers repeat key points. Repetition highlights important ideas. Repetition highlights important ideas. I understand spoken English in social events. I understand spoken English in social events. Social events include casual language. Social events include casual language. I can follow spoken English without translating. I can follow spoken English without translating. Direct understanding saves time. Direct understanding saves time. I understand spoken English in training sessions. I understand spoken English in training sessions. Training sessions explain tasks clearly. Training sessions explain tasks clearly. I notice how speakers summarize ideas. I notice how speakers summarize ideas. Summaries help remember information. Summaries help remember information. I understand spoken English about future plans. I understand spoken English about future plans. Future plans involve decisions. Future plans involve decisions. I understand spoken English about past experiences. I understand spoken English about past experiences. Past experiences tell stories. Past experiences tell stories. I listen with patience and attention. I listen with patience and attention. Patience improves listening quality. Patience improves listening quality. I understand spoken English in professional settings. I understand spoken English in professional settings. Professional language is clear and polite. Professional language is clear and polite. I follow spoken English during discussions. I follow spoken English during discussions. Discussions involve sharing ideas. Discussions involve sharing ideas. I understand spoken English without feeling nervous. I understand spoken English without feeling nervous. Reduced nervousness improves focus. Reduced nervousness improves focus. I notice how speakers express agreement politely. I notice how speakers express agreement politely. Polite agreement builds cooperation. Polite agreement builds cooperation. I understand spoken English in interviews. I understand spoken English in interviews. Interviews require careful listening. Interviews require careful listening. I understand explanations about responsibilities. I understand explanations about responsibilities. Responsibilities involve clear roles. Responsibilities involve clear roles. I understand spoken English with more accuracy. I understand spoken English with more accuracy. Accuracy improves communication. Accuracy improves communication. I listen carefully to follow complex ideas. I listen carefully to follow complex ideas. Complex ideas need focus. Complex ideas need focus. I understand spoken English in everyday life. I understand spoken English in everyday life. Everyday listening builds real skill. Everyday listening builds real skill. I understand spoken English without stress. I understand spoken English without stress. Stress-free listening improves learning. Stress-free listening improves learning. I notice how speakers change direction in speech. I notice how speakers change direction in speech. Direction changes guide meaning. Direction changes guide meaning. I understand spoken English in formal situations. I understand spoken English in formal situations. Formal language sounds respectful. Formal language sounds respectful. I feel confident listening to English now. I feel confident listening to English now. Confidence reflects progress. Confidence reflects progress. I understand spoken English across many topics. I understand spoken English across many topics. Multiple topics require flexibility. Multiple topics require flexibility. I follow spoken English without losing focus. I follow spoken English without losing focus. Focus keeps understanding strong. Focus keeps understanding strong. I understand spoken English with natural ease. I understand spoken English with natural ease. Ease shows improvement. Ease shows improvement. I am ready for advanced listening practice. I am ready for advanced listening practice. Advanced practice builds mastery. Advanced practice builds mastery. I complete this section confidently. I complete this section confidently. I look forward to continuing. I look forward to continuing. I can understand English conversations more naturally now. I can understand English conversations more naturally now. Natural understanding comes with practice. Natural understanding comes with practice. I notice small details in spoken English. I notice small details in spoken English. Small details improve comprehension. Small details improve comprehension. I can follow explanations without feeling lost. I can follow explanations without feeling lost. Feeling lost decreases with experience. Feeling lost decreases with experience. I understand spoken English during discussions at work. I understand spoken English during discussions at work. Work discussions require attention. Work discussions require attention. I understand spoken English in casual conversations. I understand spoken English in casual conversations. Casual conversations feel relaxed. Casual conversations feel relaxed. I can understand jokes and simple humor. I can understand jokes and simple humor. Humor makes conversations enjoyable. Humor makes conversations enjoyable. I understand spoken English when people explain ideas. I understand spoken English when people explain ideas. Clear explanations improve understanding. Clear explanations improve understanding. I listen carefully to different opinions. I listen carefully to different opinions. Different opinions expand thinking. Different opinions expand thinking. I understand spoken English in online meetings. I understand spoken English in online meetings. Online meetings need strong listening skills. Online meetings need strong listening skills. I can follow English conversations without subtitles now. I can follow English conversations without subtitles now. Subtitles become less necessary over time. Subtitles become less necessary over time. I notice how speakers emphasize key words. I notice how speakers emphasize key words. Emphasis highlights important information. Emphasis highlights important information. I understand spoken English when people give advice. I understand spoken English when people give advice. Advice often includes suggestions. Advice often includes suggestions. I can understand spoken English in group calls. I can understand spoken English in group calls. Group calls involve many voices. Group calls involve many voices. I understand spoken English about future plans. I understand spoken English about future plans. Future plans involve choices. Future plans involve choices. I understand spoken English about past events. I understand spoken English about past events. Past events help tell stories. Past events help tell stories. I listen calmly even when speech is fast. I listen calmly even when speech is fast. Calm listening improves accuracy. Calm listening improves accuracy. I understand spoken English in formal discussions. I understand spoken English in formal discussions. Formal discussions use careful language. Formal discussions use careful language. I understand spoken English when people explain problems. I understand spoken English when people explain problems. Problems usually have solutions. Problems usually have solutions. I can follow English conversations in public places. I can follow English conversations in public places. Public places can be noisy. Public places can be noisy. I understand spoken English when people compare ideas. I understand spoken English when people compare ideas. Comparisons show differences clearly. Comparisons show differences clearly. I listen carefully to follow long explanations. I listen carefully to follow long explanations. Long explanations require focus. Long explanations require focus. I understand spoken English during interviews. I understand spoken English during interviews. Interviews require careful listening. Interviews require careful listening. I understand spoken English in training sessions. I understand spoken English in training sessions. Training sessions explain skills. Training sessions explain skills. I can understand spoken English at a natural speed. I can understand spoken English at a natural speed. Natural speed feels easier now. Natural speed feels easier now. I notice how speakers change their tone for meaning. I notice how speakers change their tone for meaning. Tone can change the message. Tone can change the message. I understand spoken English in professional settings. I understand spoken English in professional settings. Professional settings require polite language. Professional settings require polite language. I understand spoken English during presentations. I understand spoken English during presentations. Presentations explain ideas clearly. Presentations explain ideas clearly. I listen actively to avoid confusion. I listen actively to avoid confusion. Active listening reduces confusion. Active listening reduces confusion. I understand spoken English about daily routines. I understand spoken English about daily routines. Daily routines are common topics. Daily routines are common topics. I understand spoken English when people give instructions. I understand spoken English when people give instructions. Instructions guide actions. Instructions guide actions. I feel comfortable listening to English for long periods. I feel comfortable listening to English for long periods. Comfort shows strong progress. Comfort shows strong progress. I understand spoken English in customer service situations. I understand spoken English in customer service situations. Customer service language is polite and clear. Customer service language is polite and clear. I understand spoken English during social events. I understand spoken English during social events. Social events include informal language. Social events include informal language. I understand spoken English across different topics. I understand spoken English across different topics. Different topics build flexibility. Different topics build flexibility. I listen carefully even when English is complex. I listen carefully even when English is complex. Complex English becomes easier with practice. Complex English becomes easier with practice. I understand spoken English with better accuracy now. I understand spoken English with better accuracy now. Accuracy improves communication. Accuracy improves communication. I understand spoken English without translating in my head. I understand spoken English without translating in my head. Direct understanding saves energy. Direct understanding saves energy. I follow spoken English with confidence. I follow spoken English with confidence. Confidence improves listening skills. Confidence improves listening skills. I understand spoken English in everyday life situations. I understand spoken English in everyday life situations. Everyday listening builds real ability. Everyday listening builds real ability. I stay focused during long conversations. I stay focused during long conversations. Focus keeps understanding clear. Focus keeps understanding clear. I understand spoken English with less effort now. I understand spoken English with less effort now. Less effort means progress. Less effort means progress. I feel relaxed while listening to English. I feel relaxed while listening to English. Relaxation improves comprehension. Relaxation improves comprehension. I understand spoken English even with different accents. I understand spoken English even with different accents. Accents become familiar over time. Accents become familiar over time. I understand spoken English more confidently each day. I understand spoken English more confidently each day. Daily confidence shows improvement. Daily confidence shows improvement. I am comfortable listening to English at work. I am comfortable listening to English at work. Comfort improves performance. Comfort improves performance. I understand spoken English during discussions and debates. I understand spoken English during discussions and debates. Discussions require careful listening. Discussions require careful listening. I listen with patience and confidence. I listen with patience and confidence. Patience supports learning. Patience supports learning. I understand spoken English without feeling stressed. I understand spoken English without feeling stressed. Stress-free listening improves results. Stress-free listening improves results. I feel proud of my listening progress. I feel proud of my listening progress. Pride motivates continued learning. Pride motivates continued learning. I am ready to continue improving my English. I am ready to continue improving my English. I look forward to the next section. I look forward to the next section. I can understand spoken English in many situations now. I can understand spoken English in many situations now. Many situations require careful listening. Many situations require careful listening. I understand English when people explain their opinions. I understand English when people explain their opinions. Opinions often include reasons. Opinions often include reasons. I can follow English conversations without feeling nervous. I can follow English conversations without feeling nervous. Calm listening improves understanding. Calm listening improves understanding. I understand spoken English during teamwork discussions. I understand spoken English during teamwork discussions. Teamwork requires clear communication. Teamwork requires clear communication. I understand spoken English in social conversations. I understand spoken English in social conversations. Social conversations are usually informal. Social conversations are usually informal. I notice how speakers express agreement clearly. I notice how speakers express agreement clearly. Clear agreement avoids confusion. Clear agreement avoids confusion. I understand spoken English when people disagree politely. I understand spoken English when people disagree politely. Polite disagreement keeps conversations respectful. Polite disagreement keeps conversations respectful. I follow spoken English during problem-solving discussions. I follow spoken English during problem-solving discussions. Problem-solving requires clear thinking. Problem-solving requires clear thinking. I understand spoken English during presentations at work. I understand spoken English during presentations at work. Work presentations share information. Work presentations share information. I can understand spoken English when people give suggestions. I can understand spoken English when people give suggestions. Suggestions often help improve ideas. Suggestions often help improve ideas. I listen carefully to understand key points. I listen carefully to understand key points. Key points guide understanding. Key points guide understanding. I understand spoken English during training sessions. I understand spoken English during training sessions. Training sessions explain new skills. Training sessions explain new skills. I understand spoken English during interviews and meetings. I understand spoken English during interviews and meetings. Interviews and meetings require focus. Interviews and meetings require focus. I can understand spoken English at different speeds. I can understand spoken English at different speeds. Speed changes are normal. Speed changes are normal. I understand spoken English when people explain processes. I understand spoken English when people explain processes. Processes show steps clearly. Processes show steps clearly. I understand spoken English about goals and plans. I understand spoken English about goals and plans. Goals and plans involve decisions. Goals and plans involve decisions. I understand spoken English during group discussions. I understand spoken English during group discussions. Group discussions involve many ideas. Group discussions involve many ideas. I understand spoken English when people describe experiences. I understand spoken English when people describe experiences. Experiences tell stories. Experiences tell stories. I understand spoken English during customer support calls. I understand spoken English during customer support calls. Customer support language is clear and polite. Customer support language is clear and polite. I listen carefully to avoid misunderstandings. I listen carefully to avoid misunderstandings. Avoiding misunderstandings improves communication. Avoiding misunderstandings improves communication. I understand spoken English when people explain rules. I understand spoken English when people explain rules. Rules help organize actions. Rules help organize actions. I understand spoken English in formal discussions. I understand spoken English in formal discussions. Formal discussions require polite language. Formal discussions require polite language. I understand spoken English during online calls. I understand spoken English during online calls. Online calls require clear listening. Online calls require clear listening. I understand spoken English when people talk about problems. I understand spoken English when people talk about problems. Problems usually need solutions. Problems usually need solutions. I understand spoken English when people explain solutions. I understand spoken English when people explain solutions. Solutions provide answers. Solutions provide answers. I understand spoken English about daily activities. I understand spoken English about daily activities. Daily activities are common topics. Daily activities are common topics. I understand spoken English when people give feedback. I understand spoken English when people give feedback. Feedback helps improvement. Feedback helps improvement. I understand spoken English during professional conversations. I understand spoken English during professional conversations. Professional conversations use respectful language. Professional conversations use respectful language. I understand spoken English when people talk about work tasks. I understand spoken English when people talk about work tasks. Work tasks require clarity. Work tasks require clarity. I understand spoken English during social gatherings. I understand spoken English during social gatherings. Social gatherings include casual speech. Social gatherings include casual speech. I understand spoken English when people discuss plans. I understand spoken English when people discuss plans. Planning requires clear communication. Planning requires clear communication. I listen with confidence and focus. I listen with confidence and focus. Focus improves understanding. Focus improves understanding. I understand spoken English during phone conversations. I understand spoken English during phone conversations. Phone conversations require careful listening. Phone conversations require careful listening. I understand spoken English when people explain changes. I understand spoken English when people explain changes. Changes affect decisions. Changes affect decisions. I understand spoken English during casual chats. I understand spoken English during casual chats. Casual chats feel relaxed. Casual chats feel relaxed. I understand spoken English when people give advice. I understand spoken English when people give advice. Advice helps make better choices. Advice helps make better choices. I understand spoken English when people compare options. I understand spoken English when people compare options. Comparisons show differences. Comparisons show differences. I understand spoken English during everyday conversations. I understand spoken English during everyday conversations. Everyday conversations build fluency. Everyday conversations build fluency. I listen calmly even during long conversations. I listen calmly even during long conversations. Calm listening improves accuracy. Calm listening improves accuracy. I understand spoken English when people express feelings. I understand spoken English when people express feelings. Feelings add meaning to speech. Feelings add meaning to speech. I understand spoken English in different environments. I understand spoken English in different environments. Different environments change sound quality. Different environments change sound quality. I understand spoken English during discussions at work. I understand spoken English during discussions at work. Work discussions involve decisions. Work discussions involve decisions. I understand spoken English when people talk about experiences. I understand spoken English when people talk about experiences. Experiences help explain ideas. Experiences help explain ideas. I listen with patience and confidence. I listen with patience and confidence. Patience improves listening skills. Patience improves listening skills. I understand spoken English without mental translation. I understand spoken English without mental translation. Direct understanding saves time. Direct understanding saves time. I understand spoken English when people speak naturally. I understand spoken English when people speak naturally. Natural speech becomes easier with practice. Natural speech becomes easier with practice. I understand spoken English across many topics. I understand spoken English across many topics. Many topics require flexible listening. Many topics require flexible listening. I understand spoken English with growing confidence. I understand spoken English with growing confidence. Growing confidence shows progress. Growing confidence shows progress. I am comfortable listening to English now. I am comfortable listening to English now. Comfort reflects improvement. Comfort reflects improvement. I am ready to continue improving my listening skills. I am ready to continue improving my listening skills. I look forward to the next part. I look forward to the next part.